What does Dad really want for Father's Day? How about some steak? And for a limited time, you can find a variety of packages filled with beautiful Omaha steaks, plus other premium meats, side dishes, and desserts. All ideal for Dad's special day. These packages come flash frozen, vacuum sealed, and delivered in a cooler with dry ice safely to the door. All backed by Omaha Steaks, unconditional 100% money back guarantee. All you have to do is go to omahasteaks.com, put in the code VSIN into the search bar. Many packages include free shipping and a free 1-pound package of their cured, thick applewood smoked steak cut bacon. Oh man, does that sound good? Visit omahasteaks.com and put in the code VSIN. That's VSIN in the search bar to shop for Father's Day. Paul, so in this week's Point Spread Weekly, Brady Cannon gave his top 10 gambling list. We'll run down his coming up in about 10 minutes, but we'll tell you this. He somehow failed to put casino in his top 10. Is there any justification that you can think off the top of your head?
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. We both have a top 3. It's a phenomenal movie. It was on last week. I watched it again. It's also a movie that no matter where you are, if you're flipping and you see that it's on, you're going to sit down and say, okay, I'm watching this. You know, it's the cast is unbelievable. Scorsese. We have a great clip from a guy who was in the Hole in the Wall gang with Spilatro that will play coming up as well. Frank Collada. It's a disgrace. His list is so bad. It got me so upset that I put my list together. And I know, and you put your list together as well. We want to hear from everyone. FTM at VSiN.com, at Mitch Moss Radio on Twitter, at Paulie Howard with a Y, at VSiN Live, or FTM at VSiN.com. We asked Richard Roper, I think a year ago or 2 years ago, about his list, but we never did a list.
That's right.
But considering what we do for a living, and we love movies, it's great to put this list together for our top 10 gambling movies. And you know, some of these are debatable with the list, and in terms of also it's hard to say what's a gambling movie. Let's start with this for instance, Mitch. Is Ocean's 11 a gambling movie? Can you put it? I think that qualifies. I mean, most of the movie,
yes.
Yeah, most of the movie is set in a casino. They rob a casino. Unbelievable cast. It's on the list too because I'm in it too. I'm in the damn thing. But that's sure, absolutely. To me, that counts. And a guy he does media for the World Series of Poker. Nolan Dalla. There I am. Nolan Dalla has this in his list, and he has a top 25 list. When in doubt, go to Nolan Dalla. And if he has it in his list, it counts. So I'm going to go with The Gambler at number 10. And listen, I think the remake is just as good as the one with Jimmy Caan. And Mark Wahlberg is terrific in the remake. And there's an epic scene at the end with John Goodman. But that's a good movie. I think a little bit, the one with Jimmy Caan's a little bit overrated. I don't think it's a slam dunk to say the one with Jimmy Caan is better than the remake, but I have The Gambler checking in at number 10. I got a 9A and 9B. Owning Mahoney, I think Philip Seymour Hoffman's terrific. It's an incredible story. I mean, the guy in Toronto, he's a banker making $30,000 a year, and somehow he's playing blackjack for millions in Atlantic City, and they never did a background check on the guy. Lunacy. I love the story where the guy's playing. He's got like millions of chips on the table, and he wants his what does he want? His pork ribs or his barbecue with the Coke?
Oh, yeah.
That's all he wants? Piece of cake. Ocean's 11 also checking in at number 9 as well. A fantastic movie. Number 8, and Houston Curtis will be on the show coming up. The book blows away Molly's Game's book and the movie. But it's a good movie, though. I know Houston Curtis said it's not accurate, but in what Molly Bloom taking some liberties with the story, Chastain's good. Idris Elba's good. Yes, that's a good movie. Molly's Game is a good movie, and there's some good poker scenes in it as well. I found it entertaining, and it checks in at number 8. All right. Number 7, The Sting. Probably too low. Terrific movie. An all-time classic. I probably have that too low. The Color of Money. Fast Eddie again. Number 6, the remake to The Hustler. Paul Newman's fantastic. So is Tom Cruise. I'm counting this as well. There's a big poker scene in this movie. There's a lot of they're betting on soccer in the movie. Nolan Dalla counts it. I'm going to count it. A great Guy Ritchie movie, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels at number 5. Then I watched this yesterday. Steve McQueen is great. I love the ending of the movie, The Cincinnati Kid, at number 4. Fast Eddie again. Number 3, The Hustler, which is with Jackie Gleason and Paul Newman in 1961. The budget was $2 million. But The Hustler is fantastic as well. I have that at number 3. And to me, this is easy. This is standard. Number 2, Rounders. And number 1, Casino. Top gambling movies. Rounders is so good. Son of a Gun made a move on Chan. Norton's fantastic. Damon's fantastic. And Casino, I can't get enough of Casino. That's one of my – I like Casino more than Goodfellas. I'm on the record with that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we've had this discussion before. What's the better movie? Yep. I lean Goodfellas, and you're full-blown Casino. I think, though. I mean, do you have Casino like as a top 5 movie overall?
It's close. It's up there.
Close, okay.
It's close. I know it. I know there are parts where it's just like, okay, with the Sharon Stone. I mean, she's a lot to take in this movie, and you wonder at what point is Lefty Rosenthal, Ace by De Niro, who played Lefty Rosenthal, at what point is he going to leave her? He found out he's cheating on her. Okay, now that'll do it. But I mean, it's like she threatened to kill you, Sam. You get divorced and end it. I mean, come on. But Rickles is great. There's so many memorable scenes you can. Anthony, I got your head in a vice.
Yes, the vice part.
The blackjack scene, beating up Rickles. I mean, faking the airline malfunction to get the whale back and lose his money playing Baccarat, whatever it was. I mean, and also we know the history too. And I was just in that community where the real Lefty Rosenthal lived, and his house was available a couple of years ago. I drove right by his house, and a guy we know who lives in that community, the guy who what do you call it? The owner of the property and all the real estate there, the development, there's a real plane on where the feds landed the plane on a golf course. There's an actual plane where the feds actually landed because they ran out of gas, and they had that's a true story. The plane's on the golf course.
Yeah, and his home was up for sale not that long ago.
Yep, we missed that one. That'll never go down.
And by the way, it was not outrageous. The price they were asking for it was not like. It was less than $1 million. It was, I think, in the $500,000-$600,000 range, maybe.
You're right.
Wasn't insane. Right? You would think something like that's going to be $2 million. No, wasn't.
They didn't touch anything either. I mean, they kept it as it was, which is a good move.
Okay, so coming up next, I'll give you my top 10. We're going to play you a clip from Frank Collada, who was actually in Casino. This is incredible, right? To hear this description of how he actually got in the movie will blow your mind. And I do have a question about this specific movie, because if this is considered a gambling movie, it shoots into my top 10. But I don't think it's a gambling movie. That's coming up next.
VSiN, the sports betting network, has more ways than ever for you to connect with us. Introducing the VSiN lineup of podcasts. We've included all of VSiN's expert betting analysis and insights into new podcast options for your listening pleasure. Increase your sports betting knowledge with Josh Applebaum's Market Insights. Best Bets bring you the top highlights from VSiN daily programs. And the Ron Flatter Racing Pod keeps you up to date on horse racing. Download all the VSiN podcasts from your favorite podcast provider today.
If you didn't catch VSiN last week, here's some of what you missed.
Would you rather have Jared Goff or Cam Newton?
I'd rather have Cam Newton.
I would rather have Cameron myself. Would you rather have Matt Ryan or Cam Newton? Well, for what they do in Atlanta, maybe Matt Ryan, but Matt Ryan gets older. Would you rather have Ryan Tannehill or Cameron Newton?
Right.
Would you rather have Josh Allen or Cam Newton? Would you rather have Gardner Minshew or Cam Newton? Now, I get Denver. Denver's saying we've got Drew Lock. We've got to see what we have. I get that one. Well, why don't I get it with Jacksonville? Because Jacksonville's got a 6th-round pick investment in Gardner Minshew. They bought low on him to begin with. So why not bring Cameron in and see what he can do? It makes too much sense, right?
Yeah.
The Rams can't do it because the Rams are, they've got so much money tied up. They have no cap availability to do it. I still think the Patriots make sense because, look, what do we know about Belichick more than anything? Belichick is the king. Other than Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett, Belichick would fall in the same line. He likes to buy low, sell high. There's nothing there right now. Cameron MVP Newton is at the all-time low number.
I'm wondering, though, you can answer this because you have more insight to them than anybody else, really. It's if they were going to go a different route at quarterback other than the guys that they have. You and I talked about this one day when I was on the Lombardi line. I thought Jameis Winston was more of a perfect fit for them than a guy like him.
So did I. I think but some of the off-the-field issues caused some concerns,
okay.
Especially going back to college and when he had the limo with the Uber driver, he got suspended for 3 games. I don't think that's going to happen. So, I think that's why it didn't. I think it would have been a perfect natural fit. And I think the other thing people don't want to understand is the Patriots have cap concerns.
Yeah.
I mean, they have cap concerns, and because of that, it limits what you really want to do. So, I think that's got to be a concern, and I think ultimately you've got to worry about that.
Now more than ever, we're all thinking about our hygiene. We're washing our hands and sneezing into our arm, but we're still taking a huge carrier virus with us everywhere. Phones are a vector for disease, and we rarely clean them. It's time to take cleaning your phone seriously. The Clean Phone Pro Sanitizer uses medically proven UV light technology to kill 99.99% of all bacteria that comes in contact with your phone. Better than wipes and safe for your device. The Clean Phone Pro gets every inch of your phone clean. Dedicated wireless charging pad on top of the chamber. You can be sanitizing other items while charging your phone. Go to thecleanphone.com today and get one for just $89 and free shipping. If you're serious about hygiene, it's time to get serious about cleaning your phone. That's thecleanphone.com. Thecleanphone.com. FTM at vsin.com for your favorite gambling movies, top 5, top 10. Casey says, let it ride. I liked it, but it's not on my list. I didn't make my list. The Stu Unger story, High Roller, with Michael Imperioli as Stu Unger was good, but didn't make the list. Croupier is on a lot of people's list, but I've never seen it, with Clive Owen. I hear that's good. I haven't seen it. And I liked the Cooler's good, but it's hard. I mean, I can only go with 10 spots. So the Cooler was good with, what's his name? William Macy and Baldwin.
Yes.
But not in my top. Yep.
Okay. So I have a couple of questions first before I run down my top 10.
All right.
I was reading on imdb.com last night. They have a list of, I think, top 100 gambling movies of all time.
Ooh.
Now, no way, shape, or form can you ever convince me that The Hangover is a gambling movie, but they have The Hangover included. No, there's no. Alan plays blackjack for a little while. He's got the Beautiful Mind thing going on. He wins a bunch of money, whatever. It's not a gambling movie. The same list also included Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas as a gambling movie. I mean, who are we kidding? That's not a gambling movie. Okay.
No.
They're so hopped. It's all about drugs and hallucinations and everything like that. Okay. But this one, and I saw this on Twitter last night, and it might make some sense. I don't think it qualifies as a gambling movie, Paulie. But if it does, it's in my top 10. What do you think of Silver Linings Playbook?
Not bad. I mean, the dad's a bookie.
Yeah.
At the end, there's a parlay. The whole thing's about hitting the parlay.
The
he
superstition
loves the Eagles.
with the green cloth, come on, sit next to me.
We got walks up to him. He's all emotional. We got a big. I need you here. We got to play the Giants.
Right.
Get the Giants coming to town.
Yeah, you got to show up. Come on.
Yeah, I could see it. Yeah, he's a bookie. Yeah, absolutely. Kelly will allow it. Yeah.
If that's allowed, that movie is so good. I would have it in my top 10. I don't know if it's enough about gambling. Anyways, I grew up watching a lot of gambling movies when I was younger. I'll throw a couple of examples at you. The Sting, Cincinnati Kid, The Hustler, and California Split, which I watched again last night. But I don't remember those movies enough to have in my top 10. Like I watched The Hustler so long ago that I can't remember. Probably as like a 10-year-old when I watch it with my family. Would that actually make my top 10 today? I don't know. So I'd have to go back and watch that. So this is not really a true top 10 list in my opinion. And I'm going to give you that caveat up front. Now I did watch the California Split last night again, like I said, and like Elliot Gould is really, really good. Okay.
Yep.
But a lot of this depends on too, like that movie was in the mid 70s, I believe, when it was made. How old were you when you first watched that movie? Like I know this Alan Boston, right? Professional gambler, loves college basketball. You know the deal with him. He loves it. Thinks it's the best gambling movie of all time, California Split. Well, he probably watched it when it came out when he was like 15 or 18 years old, whatever he may have been. So that was impressionable on him back then, and now that's always carried over for his full life. To me, watching it again last night, I'm like, nah, sorry. It's not that great. Nope. It doesn't belong in my top 10. And
good movie. Good movie.
Yeah,
but doesn't make the list.
It's good, but it doesn't make my list. The 10 others that do actually make my list. I have the cooler number 10. I thought it was very well done. Baldwin's, he's awesome. And I give William H. Macy a pass on anything because I think the guy's so good. I'm with you on Molly's Game. I know that people are going to hate this because they're going to say it was completely unrealistic and Molly, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Folks, these are
Hollywood.
Too, right? Exactly right. You need the biggest thing that you need to do, suspend your level of disbelief. And Molly's Game was a terrific watch for 2 hours, and Chastain was great. I have Ocean's 11 checking in at number 11. And by the way, a lot of my list I think are very rewatchable. One would be Ocean's 11. I've probably seen it 10 times. I did put Let It Ride in because I like Dreyfuss, and that's a fun movie to watch for 90 minutes or whatever it is. It's very good. Another one that fits that mold, and this is Mel Gibson back during his prime, and he's not the only guy that's great. James Gardner's really good. I'm blanking on the female lead, and I can't believe I'm doing that. She was in Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, Jodie Foster.
Yeah, Jodie Foster's in it. That is a very rewatchable, funny, upbeat movie. I think it's very good. I agree on Color of Money. Here is my wild card into the entry, and I think a movie that will be on nobody else's list. But Bad Lieutenant, it has to be the NC-17 version with Harvey Keitel, and he's not only he's a total degenerate. I mean, as it says right here on the screen that you can see, he's a gambler, he's a thief, he's a killer, he's a cop. But when he has the bet on that Mets-Dodgers series and he's driving around New York and it doesn't go his way on a huge bet, and he pulls out his gun and he shoots the radio when he's driving around and puts a siren on top, the first 45 minutes of Bad Lieutenant NC-17, my jaw was on the floor. I could not believe what I was watching.
And Chris Mad Dog Russo is in the movie. And we asked him about it, and he didn't know what he signed up for. I mean, that movie is filthy. That movie's filthy. So I think they're in the movie they're down 3-0 in the series, and Russo kept saying, "You got to win 4, not 3." So they got to win 4. I don't want to hear about it. You're only up 3-0. You got to win 4. And he's Keitel's driving around in the car. You got Russo on the radio, and he's like, I mean, then the movie comes out. Russo's like, "What the hell is this? They put me in a movie. My God, I'm ashamed."
I know. Well, yeah, it's incredible. What a watch that is. I do have Oni Mahoney all the way up at number 3, and I just that whole story, outstanding. To think about, he didn't really make that much money at all. Like you said, Paulie, earlier, like 30,000, maybe a little bit less. And when his girlfriend wanted to do something like maybe go to a dinner, we don't have that much money. And then the car that he drove around in, and then would always park in the parking garage at the airport or oh my God. But the whole Ponzi scheme that he had going was fantastic. I've heard the book is actually better, the book based on that movie. I flipped my 1 and 2. I have Casino number 2, and I have Rounders number 1. And again, I was probably like 22 years old when it came out. I really like Matt Damon. I love Edward Norton. Again, I'm going to use this word again. It's rewatchable. And how many lines do we still use today, like 22, 23 years after the fact? I mean, in the poker game of life, women are the rake, right? Alligator blood, wheel. I mean, it's just everything about that movie for 2 hours again. That to me, when that movie comes on, like you with Casino, no matter what, I'm watching the rest of it.
And this guy's right on Twitter. The effect of live poker's rise to prominence after Rounders deserves to be that high. The guy says Rounders, moneymaker, World Series of Poker interest, world participation. Yeah, I agree. Willie's winner says 2 for the money. Come on. Great cast, but not a good movie. Couple good scenes, but not a good movie. Joe Villanueva's right too. I thought you was laying it. I'm a little confused. Oh, you get a little confused about it. If you put your head through that wall. I mean, that's another great scene. Casino. The guy said he got to meet Tom Cruise during Color of Money filming. Incredible. And do you consider Flamingo Kid a gambling movie? I haven't seen it. I apologize. I haven't seen that one. I've heard Pool Hall Junkies is good from some people.
Me too.
Other people, not so much. That I haven't seen it. I'm dying to see Croupier, but that's on everyone's list. I haven't seen it. This is on Brady's list. The Big Hand for the Little Lady in 1966. That's in his top 5. I haven't seen it. But good list, though. You did a pretty good job. It's tough.
Yeah, that's another one, by the way. Flamingo Kid. It was so long since I watched Flamingo Kid. Go ahead.
Yep. I'm sorry. Good point you made though too. We like to. Back in my day, it was so good, right? We do this with sports and the NBA, and you go back and watch some of these movies in the 70s and 80s. They don't hold up, especially action movies as well. I mean, it's just things are better now. All right. I know there's some classics, but you don't remember it when you watch it now as opposed to when you were younger. You're right.
And this is terrific. So this is, again, on Casino. This is Frank Collada. He does something on YouTube called Coffee with Collada, and he brings in Nicholas Pileggi. And they're talking about, so he actually was, committed this real life murder. And there's a scene that they're about to do in Casino. And Frank is there and he's like, no, that's not how it went down. And this is how he actually became like one of the dudes that was in the movie.
And Frank is looking at it and he's grinning. He's sort of shaking his head. I said, what's the matter? And Frank said, that's not the way it worked. That's not the way it happened. It would never happen. I say, how do you know? Frank says, well, I did that murder. I said, what? He says, yeah, no, that's the one I did, and that's the one of them I got immunity for. So here I am standing there with the guy who did the hit as the technical advisor on a hit in the movie. So I said, Marty, get over here, we got to talk. So Marty comes over, and I says, Collada did this hit. He said, we're doing it all wrong. He said, you did the hit? I'm like, yeah. Because it's in it's in all the court papers. He was accused of it. He just got immunity because he helped with the government. Got immunity on this homicide. And so Marty said, show us what happened. So Frank starts to do the hit. And Marty said, that's perfect. You do it. So we fire the actor. And Frank Collada winds up in the movie, in Casino, doing the hit that he did in real life as an actor. And I don't think that's ever happened.
I'm going to guess that's the only time in the history of movie making that's took. Yeah, right?
That's great.
That's incredible. I'll give you another example, Paulie.
Yeah, he kills Alan King. Yeah, Alan King's character in the movie. I think he's in another scene too, Collada. Yeah.
Yeah, here would be one more example. When I was probably 20 and American Pie came out, I thought it was brilliant and I loved it. I watched it again during the pandemic a few weeks ago. I turned it off 45 minutes in, never laughed one time.
Oh, boy.
It's how old you are, where you're at in your life. Sometimes when you watch these movies, I mean, that's the way it works. Up next, what's the best plan of attack for the NBA? The coach, David Thorpe, will join us. We'll kick it around with him coming up next.